From the Greyman Briefing, this is a summary of recent developments regarding the Second Amendment, cybersecurity, protests, supply chain disruptions, national security, law and order, free speech, censorship, government oversight, and more. Now, the latest from GreymanBriefing.com. Here's this week's Sword, read out by Super Essie.
The FBI is addressing threats against Trump administration nominees. There are expanded firearm bans in public buildings after a DHS audit. California enforces gender-neutral children's sections in stores. Atlanta's airport sees a surge in vehicle thefts, 300 plus this year so far. Tren de Aragua gang activity spreads across 16 U.S. states with rising recruitment in migrant shelters. Cyberattacks on infrastructure, Apple's new iOS that deletes data after 3 days, and a halted Medicaid system in North Carolina highlight cybersecurity risks. Let's get started with national security. The FBI is addressing bomb threats and swatting incidents targeting President-elect Trump's administration nominees. Among these threatened are New York Representative Stefanik, Attorney General nominee Gates, that's the former one, Oregon Representative Chavez de Remer, and Secretary of Defense nominee Hegseth. The public is urged to report suspicious activity as authorities collaborate to mitigate these threats. Moving into Second Amendment. In Newport News, the city council there expanded its firearm bans to include concealed carry in city buildings. Previously, only open carry was prohibited. This decision follows a Homeland Security audit advising of increased restriction needs. Residents expressed concerns about their theft risk from having to leave their firearms in vehicles, which officials dismissed, citing secure parking lots. Moving into government oversight, in California, the Attorney General there has urged citizens to report department stores who are failing to comply with the law requiring gender-neutral children's sections. This mandate from Assembly Bill 1084 applies to stores with 500 or more employees, and it aims to combat gender-based pricing discrimination. Okay, moving into major crime. In Atlanta, Georgia, at the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, there have been over 300 incidents of vehicle thefts reported this year so far into October. I guess we'll wait to see the November, see if it's gone up. There were only 95 vehicle thefts at that airport in 2023. Thieves are using fob reprogramming and tailgating tactics. In response, authorities have increased security patrols, deployed anti-tailgating technology, and advised travelers to secure their vehicles and their valuables. This says crime is increasing in Atlanta and law enforcement is stretched thin. Moving into civil unrest in New York City, jury deliberations have begun in the trial of that Marine veteran Daniel Penny, accused of second-degree manslaughter in the death of Jordan Neely. Neely was that homeless man with 40-plus arrests with an active arrest warrant at the time who threatened to kill people on a subway and was subdued by Penny. Protests outside the courthouse called for justice for Neely, with Penny facing 15 years of imprisonment if convicted. Moving into health and safety and sticking with some government oversight here. Nationwide, a congressional report revealed that the Department of Health and Human Services spent $900 million
Redacted.
Psychological operation
Redacted.
Campaign program that faced criticism for spreading misinformation and undermining public trust.
Redacted.
Key issues included
Redacted.
Not based on science and exaggerated mortality data, leading to calls for transparency and reform in public health communication. Nationwide, the Venezuelan gang TDA has infiltrated at least 16 states, including new reports out of New York City where they are recruiting migrant children as young as 11 for criminal activities. Crime linked to the gang include extortion, drug trafficking, and forced prostitution. Law enforcement faces challenges due to sanctuary city policies and difficulties deporting gang members. Homeland Security has classified this group as a transnational criminal organization. Shifting now into cybersecurity. So cyberattacks on U.S. infrastructure have increased, targeting sectors such as energy and healthcare. Key incidents include the Colonial Pipeline hack and attacks on schools and major companies over the past few years. Let's talk about three specific things here. Apple's latest iOS update includes a new feature that automatically reboots iPhones after 3 days of inactivity. This change counters law enforcement efforts to access data on locked devices after prolonged periods of non-use. While this feature may disrupt investigations, particularly those related to major crimes and terrorism, so let's say they seize a phone during the course of an investigation, and then 3 days later, this phone that's hopefully got all this information to solve the crime, find out, who's all involved, it just reboots and everything is deleted. A Faraday bag will not stop it. The implications of automatic reboots may be positive for those concerned with privacy and security, such as after they lose their phone or have it stolen or seized. It's a negative addition for those who choose to go periods of days without using their phone, or those who have it stowed away for a later backup or for emergency use. Let's talk about a system failure. In North Carolina, Medicaid renewals were halted due to technical errors, risking healthcare access for children. Amazon suffered a data breach affecting employee information, and the U.S. government is tightening phone usage policies after assault typhoon espionage hack linked to China. We're not going to go too much further here into cybersecurity stuff, but the Greyman briefing does a good job of covering things that maybe don't make it to mainstream media, especially those related to cybersecurity and civil unrest. If you're interested, head to greymanbriefing.com and you can sign up $5 a month, $50 a year. You get the messages sent via Telegram and the Signal app, as well as email weekly. That's it. Thanks for listening. Remain aware, be vigilant, and stay safe.
Get unredacted, real-time briefings sent via email and through the Telegram and Signal apps by joining the Greyman Briefing.